Okay, now, last time you were here, you were heavily involved in some studio sessions with Timberland.
Yeah.
And you shared some advice that he given you, and you were working, it looked like it was more than just, you know how like artists just do a session with somebody, they bump into somebody, they work together, and it looked like you were heavily working with Tim for a second.
Yeah.
And then months later, I think it surprised myself for sure, but I think it surprised a lot of people when they saw you working with Birdman, and then news of a record deal came about. And you've been on the scene for a long time, from the Slim Duncan days.
Yeah.
People seen you around Slum and K-Camp in those days.
Yeah.
Then the Tim and now Birdman situation. How did this even happen? Was this an accident?
I don't believe in accidents like that. Yeah. Like, even at the time when I was fucking with, Dunk, or even going all the way toward the Timberland, a lot of that shit was organic. Like, I linked with Timberland through my mixtapes, was doing something with him. And I think at that time he was even fucking with a lot of like independent artists. Like Tim was, he one of those. He's smart enough to understand that, the youngins and the new wave, you know what I mean? And then going forward to Bird, at this time, Bird is already fucking with a lot of niggas that I already fuck with. Like London, that's my fam. My nigga June, who managed him and Dunk, they was over there. Derez, that's my bro. He had Jacquees. Jacquees was on Soon One. He was on the 300 Spartans record with the Migos and me and shit. So he already had a lot of niggas over there that I fuck with. Then, when Turk had got back out, he had ended up reaching out to me on some shit about doing some music, and I was already fucking with Turk. So it was already like leading up to Bird. Then my new management, one of them who has a label called Major Music, Manny and Travis. Travis came into the game with Birdman and them. He knew him for about 20 years. And so we was, at that time, like, I was sitting with a bunch of labels, like Def Jam. I don't want to drop all the label names, but at this time, I was sitting back with labels again. And we was in Atlanta on a tour bus, and Travis hit Bird and was like, I'm going to pull up on you. I want to show you this nigga shit. And Bird got in the car, and on the tour bus, came to the back where the studio was at, Serious Face and all. We just pressed play. After everything was done, he was like, all right, nephew, what you want to do? I was like, we chopped it up. He was like, all right, Travis, I'm going to call you. And then we ended up linking up in Miami for like 50 different times, just fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Before we did anything, like, just kind of chopping it up with him. He started seeing how I worked. He started noticing I was in there recording myself. I didn't need too much. I didn't need an intern in there to press record. He put the mic in the room in front of the computer I was recording. He came in, heard some new shit, old shit. We worked together on some songs, and we actually flew to New York and did that It's Calm record together. Shot the video with GT Films, and he just kind of peeped my vibe, peeped how concrete I was, I think, and likewise, I just think that we had somewhat of a respect for each other, you know what I'm saying? And then once we got down to talking about the business, and I was looking at other things that I had on the table, I said, let me take this and play a tug of war at the time. And I was just like, let me tell him what I want. He asked me, like, what do you want? And when I told him everything that I wanted, they gave it to me. And it just made sense, business-wise. And it wasn't, like, everybody knows, like, I wasn't looking for no deal like that. Everything that I have now, I had before I had a deal. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like, I didn't spend anything for after that happened. I didn't need that to pay my bills or nothing like that, or get a car or nothing like that. So it wasn't a need of a deal. It was about what I felt like made sense for me and my team, because my 4 producers got signed as well. And that's what was important to me. It's about, kind of bringing things to the table, not just for yourself, but for those around you. Because all my producers had jobs, you know what I'm saying? I wanted them to be able to work, with what they love to do on a day-to-day basis. And that's the way that I could take my creative process to the next level. If they could wake up and do what they do, like I do what I do. And so I ended up going, our lawyers went back and forth, hashed it out, and then we got what we got done. And now we're here today.
Now, something about Birdman and Cash Money that you just seem to see they're always in headlines, in contract disputes and people suing them, and they're always like court stuff going on. Was that ever a concern for you?
Yeah, it's always a concern. My nigga, it's a concern when I pull up to the drive-thru and fucking Chick-fil-A. And now, if nigga, you showed me something. Well, my nigga, I said no pickles on my Chick-fil-A sandwich, my nigga, and you still got it on here. it's anywhere you go, you want good business. They put that Cash Money shit at the roof of it because one, it's the most successful independent label. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, they got the Drake, they got Nicki, they got Wayne, and so it's like you're always gonna hear about that shit at the top level. Everybody wants to knock that block off. One, so of course, there's plenty of labels that did bad business. There's a lot of labels. There's a lot of artists that are in some bullshit contracts right now. And to be honest with you, I don't know one artist, and I know a lot of big artists and smaller artists. I don't know one artist that's with a label that told me, yo, my label did everything for me that they said they was gonna do and everything that I asked for. I don't know one. But another thing that I think makes it a lot worse is, because Wayne is one of my favorite rappers of all time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I done been in the studio with Bird and Wayne is literally in the next door, in the next room. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but Wayne's core fan base is so solid. Like, they're like diehard. They don't care what Wayne does. Like, as long as he says something, they're gonna roll with it. And I think that's where they put and then Bird faces on it, because I don't think I heard Birdman. I don't think I heard Wayne say, fuck Birdman. He always says Cash Money. I mean, not that I think he's doing that for a reason, because once again, that's not my business. I like to move on a G code, kind of like that's they fucking business. You know what I'm saying? Like, they family, like, they not beefing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know they not beefing because I done been in the parking lot with both them niggas at the same time and seen them both within my distance. So it ain't no beef. It's like they got business to hash out. That's their business. I never been another nigga to worry about another nigga pockets. So of course when I walked into the situation, hell yeah, I thought about it. But my lawyer is official, and I'm a businessman, and that's another thing that bothered. I feel like a lot of those people in those positions, they need to tell these younger artists to kind of how to, operate their business a little bit. Just like with Future and Rocco, who I'm huge fans of both of them. I fuck with Rocco, I fuck with Future. When that feud went on, I didn't pick sides. But once it gets announced like that, the fans force you, you force the fans to pick sides, and that's what creates the bullshit. You know what I mean? Instead of, maybe Future and Rocco could just be like, let's kind of help these people understand when you come into this game, this is how you do your business. Beware what you sign. Have your lawyer have your shit in order. Going to court, doing certain things. Even if you have a bad contract, they tell you things like, your lawyer will advise you, like, look, I'm advising you not to sign this, but sign this with me saying that I explained this to you so that I don't get in trouble. And then, okay, you understand that this is a bad contract for you, but if you go forward doing this, then cool. But everybody willing to do it when they ain't got nothing. But when, later on, it may turn into other things. So at the end of the day, Bird doesn't owe me $1 right now. You know what I'm saying? I got my shit, and my producers got their money up front. And so, if anything happens in the future, we'll play by ear. But, I could talk to Birdman like a grown man, as well as his attorneys and whatever, and if it goes there. But, God forbid. Another nigga business ain't my business. And there's so many other labels in here doing wild shit to people. On Wire Transfers from Birdman, I fully explained. Like, I even put my own self in the boat. I done dropped hella mixtapes that got me to a further point in my career and didn't pay a producer. You know what I'm saying? So, like, not that makes it cool or nothing, but it's a lot of people doing wild. A lot of rappers doing wild shit. I seen a lot of these niggas drugging females and, like, nigga, come on, bro. None of these niggas is that perfect to be speaking about another nigga shit. So it's like, at the end of the day, man, here's what it is.
Now, in that record, Wire Transfers on the Too Soon mixtape.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to Birdman, and at this point, so far that you've worked with him, what's the biggest advice he's given you at this point, or the most important thing you learned being around him?
I asked Bird some questions that a lot of people probably won't. I probably won't dig into that, just to keep it like, what it is. But it's not so much about the advice, because I'm going to be honest, like, I don't take too much advice. Like, I like my trial and error. I like falling, fucking up, and getting back up, you know what I'm saying? I think one of the things it's when you get reminded that you're doing something that the people at the top are doing. And I think that's what's important, because you want to eliminate some of the things that are not letting you progress in life. Similar when I was with Timbaland, like, the way that I record, he did it when he went into the booth. The way that he wanted to be around women. It wasn't like nobody had no sex or was doing no freaky groupie shit, But it was just the fact that he knew to have women around. He went into the booth and and did his vocals a certain way without writing it down the way I did. And so to see somebody who's at the top level do what I do, I respect it. One thing that Bird does is he doesn't interfere with the creative process. Even after selling 1 billion records, he doesn't do it. And I respect shit like that because I would think that somebody like him would come in and be like, nephew, do this and have this. No, he don't do all that. He wants you to come in and do what he finds you to do what you do, but to continue doing what you're doing. And I respect that he respects somebody's creative process. And also sometimes I may ask him certain things, just to make a certain decision on like how to move more exclusive. Because I watch Bird. I don't need his advice is more so through his feet, not through what he say to me. We did this. It was the Grammys. I went out there to the Grammys, and we had a Cash Money dinner out there. And that same night we went to a party, and like everybody was there. Like everybody in the damn city was literally in one party. And so Bird is like, we're gonna go up there. So we went up there, we get off the elevator, it's on the rooftop. Real LA party, like, what I'm saying? Some people just snorting coke like it's a bottle of water. You know what I mean? So we walk in, Bird walk in with Tony Braxton, they got their shades on and shit. I'm like 3 people behind him and shit, behind the security. He walk in, we take a picture on the red carpet with the boss of Republic and shit, boom. He walks to the crowd, and literally 15 seconds later, he was gone. And I was like, yo, this nigga literally does that shit all the time. Like, but after I look at it, like, why would a nigga leave so fast? He keeps it like that. He showed his face, took a few pictures, and got the fuck up out of it. Because he probably don't give a fuck about that nightlife shit. While a lot of them people probably got there when the DJ started loading up his equipment and probably left when the lights came on. But Bird, that nigga walked in and walked right the fuck up out. And I see how, and there's 2 ways you could look at it. One, he doesn't give a fuck about the partying and the pop of bottles like people think he does. And 2, he keeps himself so exclusive that you really can't even fully get your hands on him because he's always on the move. I done seen him assemble more people outside of the event longer than he's actually in the event itself. And it was just like seeing shit like that. Most niggas, they just riding the wave, they just following. But me, I'm sitting back like, okay, I'm taking every little fucking note. And now I do shit like that. My main word of 2017 is being unavailable. You know what I'm saying? I'm not available. I don't have time. I don't even have time to tell you I don't have time. And I think that that's important when I see things like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the advice I got from his footwork.